Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
Former Edo State Governor and Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, has criticized what he describes as the seeming cold handling of illegal mining activities in the north by the federal government as compared to the harsh crackdown on oil thieves in the Niger Delta. Oshiomhole accused the government of applying double standards in dealing with economic saboteurs and also alleged that some retired army generals are deeply involved in illegal mining and other criminal activities in northern Nigeria. Speaking during the budget defense session of the Ministry of Solid Minerals, the Edo North Senator called for decisive action to rid the sector of profiteers and ensure adequate funding so it can contribute meaningfully to the national economy.
The Nigerian Constitution, Section 44, Subsection 3, placed the sole ownership and control of Nigeria's mineral resources, including solid minerals, crude oil and gas, in the federal government for the common good and benefit of all citizens of the country. This means that no other entity in Nigeria, even subnational government or individuals, has the right to mine these resources except those licensed and permitted by the federal government. While Nigeria is known to have a rich endowment of solid minerals, including iron ore, coal, gold, lead, zinc, and bitumen, amongst others, the country, for obvious reasons, had only been focused on crude oil and gas in the Niger Delta. Even more disturbing is the fact that while illegal actors in the oil and gas sector face harsh penalties and the Niger Delta remains heavily militarized, those involved in illegal mining in the north seem to operate with little to no interference from the same government, allowing them to freely cut away the nation's resources. Like many Niger Deltans, Senator Adams Oshiomhole has expressed frustration over this unfair and biased scenario in the country. He also accused some retired military generals of being behind illegal mining operations and questioned why the government has not cracked down on them as ruthlessly as it does on Niger Deltans involved in oil-related activities.
Whereas the federal government is ruthless with people who are doing illegal oil bucking, and they deploy JTF to deal with those involved in illegal bucking. When it comes to illegal mining of solid mineral, the federal government changes. It's like using different standards. And I'm very angry about that. Because if we have to fight, deploy army, even to kill for anyone who is involved in illegal bucking of oil, and you deploy JTF, a combination of army, police, air force, everybody. Why are we allowing illegal mining in many parts of the country that is going on? And they are being manned by retired generals, and we know them.
This raises serious concern about the role of security forces in combating or enabling economic sabotage in Nigeria. Whether in solid minerals or the oil and gas sector in Niger Delta, reports and allegations continue to surface implicating members of the Nigerian military in the very illegal activities they are meant to combat. A notable instance was in 2019 when then-Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, openly accused a high-ranking military officer of involvement in illegal oil dealings. However, to date, there has been no publicly known investigation or prosecution of the suspect, fueling speculation about a systemic cover-up. This apparent lack of accountability suggests a deeper conspiracy within the authorities, raising questions about the commitment of security agencies to tackling the illicit trade that continues to drain the nation's economy. However, some stakeholders have joined Senator Oshiomhole to call on the federal government to decisively deal with illegal miners in the north, as well as empower the solid mineral sector to meaningfully contribute to the national economy.
As Senator, we should fix the problem. We should tell the executive, you must deploy exactly the same force that you deploy against illegal oil bucking. That same force should be deployed to deal with criminals who are money. Whoever is involved, they should be there and let Nigeria see that we are not condoning this.
The country is looking for diversification. How do we diversify in Nigeria, in our circumstance, without adequate appropriations for solid minerals? Here is a low-hanging fruit for us. Solid minerals. Why don't we harvest from the abundance of the earth and make this country a very happy country?
The federal government reported that the country lost about $3 billion to this illicit trade between 2012 and 2018. And just recently, human rights lawyer Femi Falana disclosed that approximately $9 billion worth of gold is illegally shipped out of Nigeria every year. This was further confirmed by the Minister of Solid Minerals, Dele Alake, who stated that Nigerian gold is being smuggled to the United Arab Emirates while calling for a partnership with UAE authorities to curb the illicit trade. There are even instances where these smugglers were caught attempting to transport gold out of the country through the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos and the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. It is truly worrisome that this illicit business is thriving while the country continues to suffer and the authorities remain largely unperturbed as far as the black gold of the Niger Delta continues to flow. For the collective interest and prosperity of the country, the solid mineral sector must be properly harnessed to begin to contribute meaningfully to Nigeria's national economy. It will be recalled that the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, in 2019, approved the Presidential Artisanal Gold Mining Development Initiative, PAGMI, to foster the integration of artisanal gold mining into the formal sector. This allowed northern states like Zamfara and many others to mine their gold and sell it to the federal government through the Central Bank of Nigeria, a development that has drawn criticism from proponents of fiscal federalism and resource control. Many argue that while these states benefit from their mineral resources, the oil and gas in the Niger Delta remains exclusively controlled by the federal government, leaving the people of the oil-rich Niger Delta and their subnational government with no equity shares while their livelihoods and environment continue to suffer.
Well, what I'm saying is that we are one Nigeria. That's what they tell us, that we are one Nigeria. So you cannot have two sets of laws that govern two different sets of people. So when it comes to the northerners, they can take resources that God gave to them as their own. Somebody get up, carry his axe, whatever, his bags, and go there and dig up gold. Gold is costlier than oil. And go and sell and take his money. Bring down chopper, take his money and go. Then when it comes to oil, 99% of the oil where in the Niger Delta belong to the same northerners. What kind of country are we in? So what is in my land, going to belong to everybody. But what is in Zamfara belong to people from Zamfara. We must have one set of laws. If we are all going to exploit what is on our land and pay taxes to the center, let us do it. If we are going to take it as our own, let us take it. If we are going to give all to government, let us also do. But don't tell me that the oil in Ogun is government oil. Then the gold in Zamfara is Zamfara people own.
The government must therefore take decisive actions against economic saboteurs across the country, ensuring fairness and accountability. Just as it did with PAGMI, it should also fulfill its earlier resolve of building modular refineries and integrating artisanal crude oil refiners in the Niger Delta into the formal economy, as promised by former Vice President Yemi Osibanjo after his tour of the Niger Delta region back in 2017. This approach will not only curb illegal activities but also create economic opportunities for local communities.
Inside the Niger Delta,